I'm just going to record it and just upload it to YouTube. So now that we're recording, everybody who has to watch the recording and was not able to stream live, I'm so sorry. I had some trouble with streaming live. I don't know why it was not going. However, it will be fixed by next week. If you're new to the call, welcome. I do want to say, if you're new to the call also, I have a problem with a lot of people making fake accounts with my identity. So please do not be scammed. Please do not, like, any student of mine that is my one-on-one student has heard my voice. Okay, do not send nobody no money without hearing my voice and talking to me personally. I will never ask nobody for money. I will never ask nobody to trade for them. I will never ask nobody to send me money to invest in Bitcoin. If that happens to you, then it's definitely not me. Also, people have made fake profiles on what is it called?
Instagram.
Telegram as well. I have like 43 on Instagram, which is retarded. I don't know why Instagram just won't verify me at this point, but
yeah, that was my next question. Like, have you been verified?
No, I've tried. Like, they said you have to have a whole bunch of articles written about you. I'm so low key. I don't have. When I was in the fitness world, I had like different news and stuff, but not in this whole trading space. I just grind with my head down. So as far as articles written and stuff like that, and then also the public, like, like on Instagram where you have a lot of people spamming people's comments with like Forex or Bitcoin. They're very cognitive about, or they're very like conscious about like putting in different investors and stuff like that, which really does suck. But it is what it is. But for you guys, I'm just telling you from a protection sake, don't send nobody no money at all. Like, please don't. Okay. Thank you. Now let's get into the markets. First off, Mama Barbara, you on here? Miss Barbara on here? Yes, she not.
Remember to turn off your annotation.
Okay. Miss Barbara said
I'm here, Jessica. I'm having problems with my computer and my phone.
Okay.
Things are not working good tonight, but I'm here.
Things ain't working good for me either. It's okay. We'll talk to you next week. Go ahead and to get some rest.
Okay. All right. Good night, y'all. Bye-bye.
Miss Barbara wanted to say hey, since she ain't said hey, but she'll say hey next week. Okay, so let's get into the market because we are already 30 minutes in and we ain't went over no charts. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, let's go over last week first. Let's go over last week first, then we're going to go over this week and where we are now. Then we're going to go over new trades. All right, so last week with GU, we were over here. All right. So as Philip was saying, you have swing trading, you have intraday trading. There are three different types of traders. Well, really four. You got position traders, swing traders, intraday traders, scalpers. Scalpers are the right now money. Intraday traders are the right now money in regards to this what's going to happen today, and then this what's going to happen this week. And then swing trading is the week up until like a few weeks, a few days, like it's the long-term overall move. Okay, so the right now for GU, this buy, so this was the GU was really the only bars pattern that I gave out last week, just because that was the only super crystal clear one. We also had gold, but remember I told you guys it was near a monthly level. We'll go to it in a second. And then we had that GJ, which was still in that consolidation range, because remember we talked about everything kind of being near weekly foundation levels. Weekly foundation levels mean what? Consolidation, which means that you really have to understand minor structure in order to trade those areas. And if you don't, you can potentially be in a lot of drawdowns. So as far as the clearance trade from last week, it was GU. This is where we were. So we had this, and remember I told you guys when I put the bars pattern on here, price had to pull back to here. I had went on minor structure and basically saw a level of resistance that needed to be tested as that level of support. So that was this little and this is like a whole entry assignment, but this is basically a test break and retest in regards to a whole like box thing. That's something else. But price pulled back to here. All right. The bars pattern didn't play out exactly. Well, it did, but just not as soon as I thought. So ultimately price pulled back to here. I had price going to this negative 61.8. Of course, it came to that negative 61.8, consolidated, then pushed up to that 1 hour trend line from the top. Y'all know I use blue trend lines for my 1 hour structure. Let me go back to auto so you guys can see this. I use blue trend lines for my 1 hour structure. So ultimately this was the minor structure fib inside of here. So price point A, point B, price pulled back to 61.8, hit negative 61.8, consolidated over until that trend line area tested it. The negative 61.8 is always my reversal. Just remember though, on minor structure can always easily be broken. So we still at that reversal level. However, again, even when you're near like certain levels, you always have to understand where you are in the market, because even though we're at, okay, a negative 61.8, if I see a trend line there, or if I see a, like I talked about last week with gold, if you see like that you're near a strong area of something potentially else happening, you always got to keep your eyes out for that, and then always be aware of those whole test breaks and retests. So the minor structure move with the buy. Now ultimately it tested our trend line, then dropped here. So the minor structure move was the buy, tested this trend line, then dropped down to our overall major structure negative 27, which is here. Okay. We have divergence forming here. This already started pushing up in a buy. So I would say literally here, just be, the only thing we need to be aware of right here is to make sure this doesn't test down one more time, just because this is a level of resistance here. All right here. So this is already kind of starting to break this formation, but this is definitely going to buy, but just make sure, we'll put it right there. All right, make sure it doesn't push down one more time before continuing that structure all the way to this trend line, okay? So GU will do something like this. And then just like Philip said though, like if you don't care about entries, you can enter it whenever. I definitely care about entries. So it just depends on like how you potentially, or how you actually trade. But this, let's say it'll do something like, okay. I want to make sure it doesn't give like another pushback down right here. So watch how this actually is forming right now, but watch how that area like is respected or tested, if that makes sense. So we're on the 1 hour right now. That last candle that just formed is bullish, okay? Ultimately, price coming here. That's what you need to know in regards to where it's going. So here, right here. But again, just make sure this doesn't like, make sure it doesn't push down one more time in regards to that buy formation structure. I need to find another bars pattern though, because this one's not as cute. Hold on. Let's find one that looks better. Because I don't have it dipping that low. Let's see. This still not as cute as I like it, but I'm trying to get through these real quick just because we already, like, we don't have much time left. But ultimately, price is gonna push up to this trend line bounce right here. Again, it's at this level of resistance, so make sure that doesn't push down one more time before we push up. However, it's going to push up. The easiest way to trade it, draw a trend line at the bottom of this structure. As long as it respects the trend line, you could continue in the buy. If it breaks it, know that it's still going to buy, but look for that push down first, because this is a negative 27, which is a major structure TP area, so it can bounce back down there. Again, we're still near weekly foundation levels. So that's something that you just need to be cognitive of and aware of always when trading. GJ last week, where we were was here. All right, so we had GJ going in a buy last week just because, of course, we had divergence on minor structure. And then price ended up, this was that 80 pip buy that I talked about that played out like literally that next day. I think it was that Tuesday. But here, this broke and retested here. At the time in which we marked up, this had retested structure. It was just like sitting up here. So, okay, I gotta mute somebody. There we go. Okay. So this ended up breaking and retesting and pushing here, literally tested this level of resistance, came back down, but the minor structure buy played out for like 84 pips right there. Then this entire time price was just ranging in here. Again, if you know how to trade minor structure, these were like literally fib levels all day long. We got this up in here that hit negative 61.8, then just basically dropped back down. You got multiple fib levels in here that could be traded, but again, you have to understand minor structure in order to do so. If not, always stay away from it. Like just focus on a major structure move, which is the overall move. All right, but I do have GJ going in a buy. The only thing is, again, we're just near the part that sucks right now. Like, it's beautiful when you at these levels where you know that price is about to reverse. Like, we know price is about to reverse, but when you're near the monthly and the weekly, you have to wait on your confirmations first. It's not as quick as, oh, I'm about to get in right now, or you can't get in right now. Just know that you're gonna be holding it for a while, right? Because you see how even this, if you would have entered this buy and you did not take profit in regards to minor structure, because remember I talked about the minor structure move and I talked about the major structure. That minor structure, we all see, okay, at that negative 61.8, it pushed back down. But if you don't understand minor structure, let's say you held that, now you just back and draw down, because again, for that overall structure, again, it takes time. You always want to understand where you are in the market. The weekly and the monthly, I always explain it like a 18-wheeler pickup truck. When a big truck stop at a red light, it takes forever for it to actually stop. When the light turns green, it takes forever for it to actually gain the momentum to push away from that area. So when you're near these monthly and these weekly areas, that's how you want to look at it. So right now, in regards to this area, we still have divergence. Like there's still a push up, but you never know how long price is going to be diverging. That's the only issue. Oh no, where's my charger? Hold on, guys, 1 second. All right, so sorry about that. My computer was about to die on y'all though, so I needed to go get my charger really quickly. But okay, so that's GJ. So once GJ actually makes its push, of course, we want to see this push up to this trend line. I would say the first move would be to this level of resistance. I would say the first move will be to this level of resistance here. You see all previous here. We had this level of resistance, then look for it to push near that trend line. All right, but wait for that divergence to finish forming first. Let me see something. Go down here.
So Jessica,
Mm-hmm.
so for GU and GJ, if price goes up to is it gonna continue to fall after that? Possibly.
Hold on 1 second. Let me see. Because GJ and GU both did large falls. This GJ is actually near a monthly trend line also. If you're new to these calls, don't freak out by seeing all these fibs. Like you'll eventually learn everything and what they mean. You gotta be patient with yourself when it comes to like trading and stuff. But this can actually, let me put a whole new fib right here, because this just diverging full format like this. I mean, what am I trying to say? This like diverging structure. I want to make sure this don't push down to this monthly right here also. But to answer your question, typically when you have a trend line bounce, yes, you want to see like, okay, this can bounce then fall, but I don't just go by that. Like it's so many things that add up. You know how I talk about my course and I say like it's a whole bunch of different ingredients, and that's what like gives you your analysis or your confirmation. You need confirmation. You can't just say like, oh, like when it pushes to the trend line, is it gonna drop? Because of course you always need to confirm that. You always need confirmations for that. I can actually see this diverging for a little bit, pushing up and then coming back down to touch this area. But again, you need confirmations for it. Like your right now money is always the money that you have confirmation for. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like once, let's say GU, right? And even this really, either one of these trades, once we have like a break to like validate where we are in the market or where we're going, like this is just, this whole consolidating structure is like when I'm speaking to you guys, it's different than when I'm speaking to my students, because my students know how to trade minor structure. You guys, if you don't understand, you got to be on it when it comes to minor structure. It's not as easy as like, because your entries and your exits have to be so precise. When it comes to the mass calls, it's like I gotta be very, very particular, because I literally know I have people that literally enter trades while we're on this call. So you see how here, right? This hit this TP1, then came back up. It's like these are minor structure moves, but in terms of everybody else's eyes who don't understand like minor structure, this is just consolidation. Do you see what I'm saying? But when
Yeah.
you understand minor structure, you can always trade in between that consolidation. So it's just a matter of like wherever you are on your journey in regards to like being able to take advantage of the moves. If that makes sense. But I do have GJ going up more or less.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Thank you. Thank you so
No
much.
problem. No problem. Gold is near that weekly. So this is where we were last week. All right. So remember I said like price could push up to that negative 61.8. At that time, we had a minor structure fib inside of here. I think this was it. I don't even remember exactly where we had it, but we had divergence here, and I was like, okay, we were expecting a fall, but remember I was like, okay, like look and make sure you're cognitive of this weekly level, which of course, again, anytime you were near these weekly or monthly levels, you just gotta really, 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 really pay attention. Okay. Gold will fall and it's gonna fall. Go back and watch the video from last week to see exactly everything that I said about gold. But here, see, like even this, on this major structure, we haven't hit this negative 61.8, but like students, y'all know if we not even past the 23.6, that's like a continuing structure. So it's like we haven't even tested any pullback structure at all really for a valid fib. Does that make sense? Like in order to have a
Yes.
valid Fibonacci level, you have to have point A, point B, price has to pull back into one of these numbers. Do you see how here we don't even have that 23.6 pullback? So it's like, okay, we have to like this right here, make sure it doesn't go here, but it's like, I mean, this is a solid level of resistance, but do not trade this. Basically, for y'all to make y'all money for the week, because we're near these areas, y'all need to put alerts on y'all chart. So to do it, all you do is double click a trend line here, press alert on top of it, and then you need confirmation. I would never be the person that says, oh yeah, like get in this right now, because again, I care super much about entries, but also you need validation, right? So where we are right here, like because this is in between these two take profit levels, I could potentially see this push back up to this negative 61.8 if it breaks this level of resistance. But regardless, the overall move for the week is a fall. Did that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
So for the week, you want to see something like, give me a second. I should have marked all these up before we hopped on these calls, or before we hopped on this call, but I've been super busy today.
A
But
break test. That's a nice confluence though.
what?
A break in the retest of the resistance. So a break of the trend line and the retest of resistance.
Yeah, absolutely. But I just need that. I need one. Like I need one that's similar to this one, because this is still like a diverging formation. The entire thing is like, it's still in this like structure where you have like higher areas on the actual price and lower areas on the actual RSI, but you still have it. And again, I wish everybody on here just understood minor structure, because that's just easy clear as day. You can easily say, okay, minor structure is going to come to this trend line. At this trend line, then look to see if it's going to push back up. But it's like, if you don't really understand that, you can be very, very confused inside of that. So I'm trying to just give y'all the overall, like,
Just what do you mean by do we understand minor structure? Do you just mean when you go to a 15 minute time frame and you understand kind of the uptrends and downtrends pretty much?
I'm talking about kind of just how I trade with my students in regards to like seeing the smaller fibs inside of the overall structure, but not really just from a time frame perspective. It's literally from a structure perspective.
Okay. And then in terms of the homework for the automated course on the fib assignment, if my fib is taking like,
How you get on that assignment already?
we're on, that's what we're on. We're on we did a structure last week and it was fib this week, right? Yeah.
This week, yes, you're right. My bad. My bad. No.
I'm
My
working.
bad.
I'm working.
My bad.
And
You're right.
yeah, so it's taken like a 9-10 days for my fibs to like play out perfectly. Do I need to go to a smaller time frame? Do I need to find better fibs, or is
Are
it
you
okay that
talking about on your major structure?
on my 1 hour and 4 hour?
Oh yeah, that's fine, because it's major structure. You'll
Oh.
get to the part where you talk about minor structure later on
Okay.
in the course. Okay, hold on. Let me concentrate real quick. Let me get this. Okay. I'm gonna have to find a reverse one because I don't see something that I like potentially like all the way. So we can use this. Ah man, Denise just told me to watch out for my annotation. Sorry, Denise, I forgot. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay, you would need something like this before you can take that sell. Everybody understand that?
Yes.
Yes.
It
Okay.
needs to bounce off that blue trend line.
Yeah,
Okay.
100%. Do not
So you talk.
until you see that. Okay.
So you saying not on the initial cross, but after it retests and then reverses.
Yes, because that's your confirmation. So price needs to push away and then come back. Because this is the thing, right? Like when you have a price that just like cross a little bit, it can cross a little bit and then still go in that opposite direction. So for instance, let's say this downtrend here. Do you see this blue trend line right here for this 1 hour structure? Do you see how price pushed up? And it crossed it. but you're not going to enter a buy right there until you have price break and retest. That's what confirms it. So you see how here we have price test this area, right? If you say, oh, I'm going to enter when the trend line breaks, no, because it can literally go up and then push right back down. You want to enter once it breaks and then retest and then goes into that buy. That makes sense?
Copy. Yes.
Okay. That's the whole goal in trading and investing in general, but more so trading. Long-term investors, especially if you invest in stocks, like really the whole market just made bullish. So it's easy to say, oh, I made money in the stock market. Okay, great. But when you are like trading, you got to be on it, right? But it's also the most beautiful market because you have money at your fingertips at all times. But the number one rule is to always protect your equity, always. And the way that you do that is to never enter trades without confirmation and never enter anything without a retest. That retest is your confirmation. And then once you have the confluences to align with it, that's what gives you your confidence for that trade. Okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
No problem. Dang it, this bullish candle just happened. Okay, so I have EU pushing up to this purple line right here. I actually am already in this. I entered this like literally when the market opened because it was just so much beautiful divergence. It was at negative 61.8 here. I would say this is the cleanest trade right now for the week. And then that minor structure would basically be this buy here. All right. Once you have a second point, then you can literally, like once you have a second point, and this goes for everything. Okay, so you have two things in trading. You have when the market is reversing, and then you have pullbacks of structure. Pullbacks of structure are always easy because you know the continuation of the trend. When you have reversals, you have to wait on that second structure point to now be able to draw your new structure that needs to be there. So for instance, right, we have this reversing structure here. It's easy to say, okay, this is about to push up to here. Once it pushes up to here, now this will be your point B. All right, wherever it stops, okay, will be your point B. And of course, if you're trading this, literally just the best way to trade this without like just take profit. If you have okay, great. If you have your set like entries, and let's say you take 2 entries, okay, like what I would do is put stop loss in profit on one and then literally put my TP at the other so that the other one just runs, but then the other, like the short-term move, you already have like your equity secured and then it's just in your account. Like once it hits take profit, the money's there, right? When you have your what was I about to say? I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody is calling me right now. And it just threw my mind off. So when you have your minor structure like this, right? And let's say you had the entry down here like I did when the market opened, okay? Let's say you have 2 entries. The first one, at the point in which you know 100% without a shadow of a doubt that it's going to, that's where you hit your take profit. Then you have the minor structure that's inside of that where you just literally every level, you just put your stop loss in profit, okay? Now, what I was saying in regards to this net level is once you have a second level there, okay, I'm kind of showing y'all how to think into the future so that like once these first moves hit later on in a week, like when we're not doing a call, again, I give the right now money for these calls opposed to the overall move for the week because I know people want to make money right now. But for the overall move for the week, mind you, there's so many pips that's made or there's so much movement that happens on a week-to-week basis. So let's say midweek, right? Once this first part plays out. Next part, what you'll do, once that first high is formed, now you will put your fib here. And your fib would literally be from point A to point B. And then once that pulls back, after you have that fib from point A to point B, that take profit level, let's say is here. And literally I'm putting this hypothetical fib on here because of course we don't have structure here to draw it. But this is cute because it lines up with my little line. But here, once price pulls back, now we know, okay, it's gonna hit TP1, then TP2, but you can't have those TP levels set until you have the structure there that's formed to draw your fib points. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Right now,
Yes.
okay, cool. Right now, just remember that we're literally in a reversal stage for this. So this divergence, we're looking for price to literally push up. But again, we don't have like, because we're near these monthly and weekly areas and it's so much consolidation, we don't have our valid structure point to draw. Like we don't have a fib to draw right now. So I can't give you a fib right here. Does that make sense?
Hey, Jess,
Mhm.
really quickly, because sometimes I do this and it could be wrong, but would it be safe to say that I can draw a fib from your 38 down to the bottom of this 61.8 for a counter trend for a reversal, to look for a 61.8 reversal? You see where your 38 is, all the way down to your negative 61?
So from here to here,
To the bottom. Yeah.
yes and no. The reason it's a no is because you don't know where price is about to, like, you don't know that price is about to continue down. You know how that last girl just asked me, okay, is it about to continue after that? You have to wait for your structure to confirm that first. So I wouldn't put that new fib there because remember, our TP levels, you're basically saying your TP levels are lower and lower. You see what I'm saying? But you
Yeah.
need like those structure breaks to confirm that first.
Okay, understood.
Because this is the thing about trading also, and this is just what I'll tell anybody, even my students when they're like in their graduating phase in the last 4 weeks of the course, I tell them only analyze the right now money because anything beyond that point is really guessing, right? Because it's like you're making if you don't have like data to confirm, like we know, okay, you can have levels of support and resistance. We know price has to come back to test that resistance or test that support. We know that there are certain areas that have to be tested in the market. So if you see a level of support and it hasn't been tested as resistant, you know eventually it's gonna get there. But in regards to like day trading and day trades, you wanna make the most money possible every day, right? So you don't wanna hypothesize a movement that you don't have confirmation for of what you see. So we have what we see and then we have what we think. And we never want to trade what we think. We only want to trade what we see because what we see is guaranteed based off of data that's telling us that's the answer. What we think is like, oh, I think it's going to go there, but what is really saying that it is going to go there?
Thank you so much.
Huh?
I just wanted to say thank you. Like, I be contemplating on my own thoughts within Forex. I'm new. This is my first time on the call also.
Mm-hmm.
And just the quote that you just spoke on do not trade what you think, but trade what you see, just opened my eyes even more. So I highly appreciate you.
Oh, no problem. All right, so this beautiful trade right here, this was analyzed later on in the week for some of my students, and I'm gonna scoot this little thing out the way because I wrote that up for them. But this was analyzed later on during the week. This was an overall fib that hit our negative 61.8 here. But again, when you're near those weekly trend lines, be cognitive of them because y'all know our negative 61.8 is our reversal level. But of course, that weekly was there, so it did end up pushing up more. Touch the weekly level perfectly. Then we had this new structure, which was our point A to point B here. This kind of consolidated here this whole time. I just put the 0 at the lowest point right here. So then this ended up pulling back. We have negative 61.8 pullback. Then we have a retest of our 50%. Then we had divergence all the way down. At the point in which this was analyzed, I had, this had hit the TP1. This was a level of resistance that needed to be this was a level of support that needed to be tested as resistance. So ultimately, we have this little pullback structure. All right. Then I had this going down to this supply and demand zone, which basically lined up with this negative 61.8. Euro JPY is going to push up also. But again, because if you're new to this call, anytime we have like our continuations and structures, it'd be super easy. When you at your reversal levels, you have to wait on confirmation before you take those reversals. Okay, so this will push up. When it pushes up, I would say the first move is going to be to here, but wait for this trend line to break and retest before you buy this. Okay, no different than that gold. This needs to break and retest. Let's say, one second. This is kind of forcing, but kind of like this. All right. We'll say a little break and retest like this. But wait for that blue, and y'all can literally draw these trend lines like while y'all on these calls or after y'all get off the calls or whatever. Like all you do again is just set the alert so that you're notified once it breaks, and then you know, okay, now I'm looking for the retest to validate that analysis, and then look for it to say, I'm gonna say push up to this first high right here, because then after that happens, it's to push back down on this structure. Yeah, I would say this area here, because we're at this like whole point in consolidation in regards to structure here. So that's like what is guaranteed once that trend line breaks. And then there, basically how I trade is once it hits my first take profit level, like set an alert or whatever you need to do, right? Then look to see how the candles are forming to confirm what it is that you're doing. If you see a whole bunch of bearish momentum or a whole bunch of bullish momentum, like if you see big blue candles right here, these are bearish candles. This is called bearish momentum, meaning that, okay, the market is aggressively pushing down. If you see a whole bunch of bullish momentum breaking through this, of course, carry it to that next level. But you're not going to hypothesize it's about to hit that next level right then and there, because what can happen is this can push up to this and you just hoping, okay, like let's say you being greedy. I'm just hoping it's about to push past this point, and then it comes right back down here, right? And then all them profits that you just made, now you just like, hopefully you ain't lose money. Let's say you hopefully breaking even now. And you're like, damn, I should have pulled it while I was up. You know what I'm saying? Like typical trading stuff. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
At that point, so you
Yes.
always,
Yes.
you always want to make
Yes.
you always want to make sure where you are. You always want to make sure you understand the flow of movement, how price is forming, where you are. If you see candlestick exhaustion, a whole bunch of wicks, and you see like a lot of consolidation, you know price can potentially reverse right there. So take your profit and then wait on that next entry for that next move, right? But don't give all the money that the market just gave you back. It's so many investors out here, like every time you place a trade, it's literally a buyer for a seller and a seller for a buyer every single time. So that means that it's somebody trying to take your money at all times. So don't give it back to them if you got the power to literally take your money on your own.
Hey, Jesse.
Don't be greedy, right?
Good question.
Do you believe in market manipulation as well?
I think that when you're educated, I think that that is like, how do I explain this? You know how Philip just said that like certain things that happen in the market to literally scare investors. I think that that happens, but I don't really look at it as manipulation, because I study fundamentals a lot. And like anytime there's a movement, it's happening because something happened in the economy. I don't look at it as investors, or I definitely think there's broker manipulation, but not necessarily market manipulation. But that's just like every trader has different beliefs. That's just my belief, right? Like I know too many people with great, amazing track records in trading to believe in manipulation.
Okay.
But I definitely believe that there are times in which an investor isn't on their P's and Q's and can get wiped out just because they ain't have all the confirmations before they took a trade. But that's why, like, and I never want to sugarcoat this for nothing or nobody. Trading is so hard. Like the learning process is hard, but I promise you, like once you master it, the sky is the limit forever. But like when you have all your confirmations lined up, I don't really look at it as manipulation because I think that we all foresee falls. I think we all foresee buys. I think that people just freak out in regards to entries and people freak out in regards to consolidation. And like, for instance, that last trade that I showed y'all in regards to GU or was it GJ? I think it was GJ, where, here. This last trade in regards to GJ, I think that people that understand minor structure that took this buy and literally had that negative 61.8 right there, I think that that's a beautiful trade for that person. Like Liz is one of my students. Liz, are you on this call?
Yes, baby. Hi.
Hey,
Hi, honey.
So Liz done master minor structure now to the T, right? But the average person would see this and be like, oh my God, it's too much manipulation, it's too much consolidation, like, and it's just your money going back and forth. But when you're able to see through it, it's not really like that. You see what I'm saying? Like there are so many like just take profit areas up inside of this structure, right? Like, and I don't know, I'm not gonna go too small. I'm not gonna go too small. Ooh, one second.
Please
One
mute your
second.
mics. Please mute your mics.
Okay, I just needed
Jess is like playing tennis.
Yeah. Okay, girl, go ahead. Educate the people real quick. Okay. Y'all know I love when my students be talking because it just made me feel like proud mama moments. But you guys something you want to say?
Yeah, it's like playing tennis, getting that cake, that right now money, concentrating on the lower time frame, and then getting your major projection of the high time frame. And you just it's just going back and forth playing badminton or tennis until you get into your major projection.
Basically, yeah. What she just said, everything she just said, basically. But it's oh, go ahead. What you about to say?
My bad. I was like, so no cap. So I've been trading since like 2018 and I'm in her automated course. And I know I like went against the grain, but like in the 2-3 weeks that I've been in the automated course, just based off of minor structure alone, like I grew my account by 5% just based off of I'm still like holding trades because I'm more of a swing trader because I'm in the military due to my career, and just like holding my trades and like catching pips and then closing out trades and catching other pips and closing out trades, just waiting to hit my macro structure. It makes a huge difference. My bad. I know I'm not supposed to be trading for like 3 months, but I'm trying to buy my contract.
You ain't, but you also just made me happy. So we just gonna leave that as that. But that really did just make my heart smile. Cause y'all know with this automated course, like that was my worst anxiety at the very beginning. People been telling me, Jessica, do a course for the longest. And my thing is like, I just really want people to get this. And it's like, I had just felt like the reason my students got the success rate they do is because I checked their homework. So it was like doing an automated course like freaked me out for the longest until I was like, okay, I'm just gonna make sure like each part I give them the actual homework assignments that I give my students. But it's just like, I just wanted to make sure people would still be able to be successful from watching videos. That was something that was like very important to me. Because as my students know, I can make the money in the market without the headache. It ain't about the money to me. It's more so about the cultivation and people actually like learning this, right? So thank you. That makes my heart smile and makes me super happy. But I also want to get on you because there is no discipline in the fact that you don't have everything yet, sis. Like you got to go through everything first in continuous practice. Okay?
Right, you're right. Okay.
Can I ask you a question from EJ?
You say what?
Can I ask you a question from EJ?
Yeah, what's the question?
So when the trend line is broken and tested, can we draw a fib level to know our TP level
Yes.
instead of resistance?
Yeah. So once the trend line is broken, you want to have that next high, kind of like EU. You want to have that next high before you know that next move that's about to happen. Always in regards to structure. And that really goes for everything, even when gold breaks, right? Like once gold breaks this trend line, right? At the next point in which you have that actual drop, right? Like right now, we can't draw a point B on any of this structure, right? But after you have that point B, now you can draw that next like fib structure that is about to occur. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jess.
Mm-hmm.
I know you the fib queen. On your EJ, I just had a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
If you was to go to EJ and I think the date is October 6th, if you was to put your fib, like start a fib from there and go to the top or the very high, when I put it there, like right where you were saying it,
October
just
6th. Over
right
here?
there, yeah. Yep.
Uh-huh.
From that basically that low
Uh-huh.
down
Right.
or back up to from there to your high,
Uh-huh.
you put a fib.
Hold on.
What I see on my charts is where you were saying the reversal is gonna happen and stuff. That's all. That's like exactly at a 618 anyway, in terms of reversal level. So
Okay,
it would
my
be
best
something.
friend. That's my best friend. That's my best friend. Okay, I'm kidding. Okay, you cannot smile. Like, can you just make me not
Right,
laugh?
can you repeat that? Can you repeat what you're showing? Can you repeat the
Oh
fib?
yeah. So basically, what he just said was, so I had my fib on a previous fib structure over here to the left-hand side. I'll show you on major structure so this makes sense for everybody. I'm gonna use the annotation because I know this is probably a lot for you guys' eyes. So my fib structure was from here to here and here to here. Then price pulled back. And then we had this consolidation range and then it pushed up to my TP here. And then I was saying like, the potential for this to push up because of this whole weekly level. And what he was saying was that there is a fib structure inside of that overall fib structure that is here, right? But the only reason I personally didn't draw one on here was because we didn't have like a valid pullback. We didn't go into any of these numbers, but basically he was saying, if you draw it on this high right here, that negative 61.8, that line here was exactly at the point in which price reversed. And y'all know I use negative 61.8 as my reversal levels. Amethyst, I'm gonna contact you. I definitely saw your email. Okay, you were one of the ones that I didn't have a number for, but I just haven't gotten a chance to reach back out to or circle the block, spin the block. I ain't spin the block yet. Okay.
Hey Jess, are you still gonna post that MetaTrader 4 breakdown video to the course sometime? Were you gonna do that this week?
Yes, I definitely am, but I purposely did not yet because I really want y'all to like follow this like my students do, like in regards to the fact that they can't trade for 3 months. Why
Right.
in the course? I just know if I do it right now, everybody gonna make an account and they not gonna do it.
That's not true. We just want to see what it looks like, how it works, and whatnot.
All right, man.
Don't do it, Jess. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Relax. Don't do that. Don't say that.
Hold them to the fire, Jess. Hold them to the fire.
Check it out.
All right, but hold on one second. I want to go back to Liz real quick because she got cut off. Liz, was there anything else you wanted to say?
No, Mama.
Okay. All right. Well, whoever just said they had a question, what was your question?
Yeah, on the GJ there were.
Okay. You said what?
Question when you drew, I think it was EJ.
Okay.
There was some visualization there. When you drew your feet from the top, from the high to the low, there's some consolidation where we have like 3 different low which are very close, but you use the last one.
Where? Here? You can use any of them. I just put it on the last one. It's really only like 2 pips different. You can use whichever you want. Like literally from here to here is like 2 pips. So either one is fine. I had just put it there. Either way, it's still at this kind of like negative 61.8
You
and
have to go to sleep.
high demand zone right here. So I think honestly, I think that EJ, Philip, what you just text me? I think that EJ and EU are the prettiest trades for the week. Gold still needs to break. Well, all of these need to break and retest. Okay, that's validity, that's validation, that's confirmation. Never ever ever, because again, anything can happen in the market, but the way you don't lose trades as a trader is to literally only trade once you have confirmations. Because remember, like even this, right, this is near a monthly level. Do I foresee this pushing down? Absolutely not. But can it? Yeah, it's possible. You know what I'm saying? Because again, anything can happen. We can have divergence all the way to here before it pushes up. But you don't trade nothing without your confirmation.
Jeff,
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm not. Go back to what you just had on your screen. I was just trying to show you when I was talking about that field. I was actually saying, I mean, what you said was right. Just so it was a negative 618 reversal. But from that low that I was telling you all the way up to the very top, if you looked at the fib, like where it is right now, it's at 61.8. Like from that very low, the picture that you got in the screen right now, from the bottom where I initially told you to the very top of that structure, if you put the fib on that, you will see that it's at a 61.8 fib reversal level. So I'm just saying it's another confluence as to what you were saying as it relates to it moving back up or about to reverse and give you the bounce to the top. It's just another confirmation. It's more of a bigger picture type move, though, I guess is what I'm saying.
Okay, got you.
That's what I sent you. You asked me what I sent. That's what that was.
Okay, thank you. I actually didn't. They had asked me a question and I didn't get to open it all the way. But does that make sense to everybody?
It's fair.
Okay.
All day.
Yes. Ooh.
Yeah.
know.
Before you go, I wanted to know, because I'm a little curious. It's my first time here. Hello, how's everybody doing? My name is Nathaniel. I trade NAS with NAS 100. I've been trading, I guess, almost 2 years with IM. Your confirmations is just like, I guess, theirs. I just definitely wanted to know, like, I remember you was on Clubhouse a year or so ago. That's why I wanted to try to get your course. But my question is, your confirmations, you had like blue, you have, I saw blue lines and purple. Are those only for consolidations? When do you know, okay, that's exactly where to put your levels, your fibs, your trend lines also? Like, when do you study your charts to let you know, okay, you can see into the future and know when to, trade, stuff like that?
Okay, I feel like that's like kind of a confusing question just because I don't know if I digested it properly. So let me regurgitate it back to you and you tell me.
I'm gonna re-ask it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, basically, are you asking me how do I know where to put my structure so that I know where it's going next?
No. What specific indicators do you like to use? Because I know you're the fib queen and stuff like that. You use trend line stuff like that. However, do you mark up your charts from the weekly, daily basis also? How do you do it? Because when I trade NAS, when I was 100, I'm kind of making mistakes.
Okay, so it's just getting super familiar with your charts. Like, I honestly don't even study charts anymore. I just know them like the back of my hand, like 100%. Like,
okay,
I know my charts like I know my mama. Whose microphone is that?
I get it.
Is that your microphone? You got football in the background or something?
Nah, it's just music video in the background, just little reaction video. My cousin's playing something. He sleep.
Okay, got you. Okay, well, to answer your question, I do a top-down analysis all the way from the monthly all the way down, but I don't look at the monthly and the weekly from my everyday trading. I have different trend lines on my chart to tell me where I am in regards to structure, as well as
Okay.
foundation levels that kind of guide me when I'm on the smaller time frame.
Oh, okay.
Hello,
I just want.
hello, Jess.
No, hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I want to ask your RSI. What's the setting? Is it normal?
Yeah, it's normal. I don't change anything. It's just the factory settings. As soon as you put your RSI on there, it'll automatically just be it'll automatically.
And your fib levels.
It's my fib levels. That's like a course thing. If you catch it, you catch it. If you
Oh,
yeah,
I see.
that's like for my,
Thank you.
that's like for my babies. Okay, that's my secret sauce right there.
Yeah, okay, I get it. I get it.
Jessica.
But okay, let me ask: is Anthony on this call? Anthony. Okay, guess not.
Jess, can I, Jess?
Yes. Liz?
Jessica, is it
Yeah, I
realistic?
just
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
quickly, I'm gonna say something. Whoever's taking Jess's course, whether it be automated or live, I suggest that you just do your due diligence and your studying without trying to trade your demo or your live. Just try to discipline yourself, and I promise you, I don't even make promises, but I'm telling you that you will be pleasantly surprised at the end once you get all your ingredients to your cake, and then you put your cake together. But just don't be trying to jump in there and get money. Quick, Jess, when you went to Tanzania the first time, and I was on my first week, and you left, I secretly traded and lost $100. But, mommy, at the end, when I graduated, I made up for all that. But I'm just trying to tell everybody, just study. Try to eat it, breathe it. This is what you want. You really want this. So just stick to every chance that you get. Don't make no excuses. Just study, and then put it together like just, feeds it to you. And you'll be straight.
Hey, Jessica.
I don't like the fact that she just gonna give that. She gonna give it in front of all of y'all, so I can't reprimand her. Like she really just about to dump that on me. But Liz, though, let me tell y'all, Liz, I'm super proud of her. I don't know if any of you saw her testimonials, but she literally, like, I think quite. Liz, you can tell y'all done made so many profits. I can't keep up at this point. After 2 weeks, what did you flip your account to? What did you start it with? And what
I started at 19. After 2 days, I made 800, and then after like 4 days, I made 15.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh well, after 3 weeks, I made 5,000. I had a total of $5,039 in 3 weeks.
Sheesh.
Glory
Hey,
be to
Jessica.
God. What did you start with?
That's beautiful.
Tell all my students this,
Amazing.
and it's just facts, but it's only if you apply yourself. Like Liz literally applied herself, Faith applied herself. Like it's like what you put in this is what you're gonna get out of it. But I tell everybody, if you put your all into my course, you will make that money back within the first 2 to 3 days. Like literally, if you focus. And of course it depends on what you start your account with, but my whole goal is for everybody to make their money that they spent for the course within the first month of completing the course. That be the ones that like make my whole entire soul smile, right? And you don't have to start with, she meant $1,900, not $19. But like that is somebody said, did she mean $19? What?
Sorry, 1,900.
Yeah. Okay. And then she said she made 5,000 after 3 weeks. And like all my students.
Hey, Jessica.
Yes.
I like when you were on that forum where you mentioned that you're gonna own your hedge fund, and this guy was what? That was very, very impressive. You stated to me, I'm gonna own a hedge fund. And those guys were just like, I can't believe it.
Oh, yeah, that's the goal. Like literally, I want to own a hedge fund, and the only people that's gonna trade in my hedge fund are my students that I made.
Jess, I have a question.
There was this was a while ago. There was a trading algorithm, I guess, that you were using. And it's like I think it compounds like 12% a month. What was the name of that? Like I don't
Talk to Philip. So he works with this like automated like thing. Like, DM him for that because I'm not affiliated with him.
Okay.
I'm about to actually, Philip, you see her name, message her. All right.
Jessica, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
So like if I sign up to be part of the group, is it gonna be like 6 months before like you get to me, since you said you were kind of behind? Like
No. It's not that it's gonna be 6 months. 3 months maybe. Never 6. But the sooner you put your name down, the sooner you're gonna get called. But it might not even be 3. This is the thing, because I'm about to take 3 groups. That's 15 people right there. Right? So like with my once I graduate people, then I take a whole wave, and I just graduated a lot. I did just intake a lot of privates, but I didn't take none of the group yet. Now I have 3 people who already sent me top-down analysis. I need to review them this week, but like never shy away from putting your name on that list just because put it there because it's like you just want to know. Bassman, you said you purchased the course, but you don't see an email. Make sure you check the email that you signed up with for the course, because you should definitely have one. Anybody who signed up for the automated course, y'all got y'all's emails automatically, right?
Yeah, within like 2 minutes, it was like automatic.
Okay, yeah. So if you just
Yeah,
signed
I didn't get mine yet. I didn't get nothing. I purchased it last Sunday. I think it was.
last Sunday,
Yes.
He probably typed his email in wrong.
did you
Yeah, that's wrong email.
did you type in the right email? Because that don't even like
Or
everybody
check your
automated.
trash or junk folder.
Yes, I'll resend the email to you with all the proof and stuff in there that I purchased it.
Hold on, let me get your can you DM me your like on this call right now? Can you DM your email to me? Like
Yes.
a private message, and then I'm gonna actually send me your number, because that's kind of troubling to myself.
Okay, on your Instagram?
No.
Oh, do it.
Not the way to reach
Okay.
me. Jessica, do not check DMs.
Okay. Send it how? Which way?
private message
Right now in Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Like
Okay.
right here on this.
Okay.
I am not the best at checking emails. I mean, not emails. I'm not the best at checking DMs.
Instagram.
On Instagram.
Hey, Jessica, I got a quick question.